Hi, I'm Sarah, Childhood Finds. Thank you so much for joining me for my weekly What Sold video. I just got back from camping, so I'm still pretty exhausted, but I just wanted to make sure to get this video out to you at the normal time that I try to. I have some pretty good sales to share with you. Nothing amazing, but a lot of decent sales. A lot of just decent items to pick up and look for out there for you. And I had some really good cross-listing sales. I'm quite pleased with them. And let me put it in perspective. The cross-listing sales probably are not impressive to some of you. Some people, this isn't going to be that many. But for me, I had like triple to quadruple what I usually get. I usually only get 1, 2, maybe 3 cross-listing sales a week. But this week, if I was able to do what I did on my cross-listing every week, because I made well over 200 in profit on my other 2 platforms this week. And that's not a lot to some. But if I was able to maintain that every week and get to that point, that would make the biggest difference in my reselling journey. So that's why I'm excited, because it gives me kind of a goal. It's giving me just something to keep working for. So I'm just gonna keep up with my cross-listing and keep pushing and hope that it gets better, especially going into fourth quarter. So very excited to share those with you. And this week, the weekend was great camping. We had so much fun. It was, why we took this trip was to commemorate and celebrate my Basset Hound. He has made it 2 years with cancer, and we only were supposed to get 5 to 10 months with him when he initially got diagnosed. So it was just a lot of fun. I never thought we'd be able to celebrate this. So just, it was a really good trip, and I'm feeling refreshed from it and ready to keep hitting eBay and really push into fourth quarter. As always, I just wanted to share, if you are into dog content and you would like to check out my other channel, it's called Ruled by Hounds. This is what it looks like. And don't do it, there's no pressure to do it, but if you're into that kind of content, I would love the support over there. I am getting not anywhere near being monetized, but I'm trying to. So what monetization is over there is I've got the subscribers that I need, but my watch hours are not anywhere near. So if you go over there and want to support me, just turn on one of my long videos and check one of them out. That would make the biggest difference in watch hours for me. The shorts don't do a lot, but those longer videos, that'd make a huge difference. But besides all that talking, guys, let's get into the what sold, and hopefully some of these are going to be items that you can find out there as well if you're a reseller. This first one that sold, I love this. I found it at a rummage sale and it was $4, which is more than I typically will spend on plush, but it's Pikmin, and I love Pikmin. I played the daylights out of that game when it first came out. But this is a Blue Bud Pikmin 2001 plush 6-inch vintage stuffed toy, and it sold for a best offer of $26, which 4 into 26, totally fine. And I got one other, I think I got the red Pikmin that day too, but really cute. This magazine, this Nintendo Power, I actually got with my other one, the #1 issue, at the same time. And this is Nintendo Power Magazine #5, March, April 1989. And it sold for $25, so not quite the same as the $325 I think the other one sold for. But this one I only had, I think it was 75 to 80 cents. It was less than $1 into this one. And it didn't take very long to sell. This sold almost immediately, and that's why I always pick up these toner cartridges. And I check them, of course, sell through, and I check the prices, but I paid $5 for this at a yard sale. It's a LaserJet print toner cartridge. It was new. It sold for $28.65 on an offer, and I know it went to someone that's probably Amazon something. You know, I am totally fine with them making a bit of money. It sold so fast, I just don't care. And it was so close to my asking price. So really happy with that sale. Oh, we're gonna be slow today. There we go. So this is a pair of Lucky Brand 363 vintage straight leg blue denim jeans, sold for $15 on a best offer. I think I paid a couple dollars for these at a yard sale. They weren't in the best condition, but they sold. They took a fair amount of time. It's probably been listed at least 8 to 10 months. But jeans are something I do look for. I haven't listed very many. I have a pile of clothes. It's kind of my, I'm making it Sarah's winter problem. I just look at them and I go, not today. So I'm gonna have a pile of clothes I have to list eventually when I get desperate in the winter. So that's what it's for. This I picked up at a thrift store for $1, sold incredibly fast. This is why I love hardware. It's a quick set decorative trim, rosettes, 1963 vintage home decor. Sold for $14 in full asking, sold in like a day. So I probably could have priced it up a little more. This sold for only $9, but it's like this big. So I know that some people don't want to sell items that are this low of a dollar amount, but I paid 50 cents for it at a yard sale. It was super tiny, fit in I think like a 464 box or something like that. It's a silver scenes, picture frame, piglet, mini plated, made in Great Britain from 1990. I'm fine with those kind of profit margins on something so little. And it took, I think, a couple months to sell at the most. This I just recently picked up. I showed in a haul video, shiny bright ornaments I picked up, and I decided to kind of part them out into little lots. And this one sold, I believe, on a best offer for $12. And it's just shiny bright, made USA, Christmas holiday ornament, striped, lot of 2, vintage as is. Not a whole lot of specifics in the title, but I was able to make, I think, 6 or 7 listings off of these, so I was happy with that. This is Lamax Spooky Town Mr. and Mrs. Pumpkin set of 2 figurines. I picked this up last year, I think in mid-October at a thrift store for about 50 cents, and this one took until this year to sell, but it sold for a best offer of $20, and they were very small, so I was happy to do that. Anytime you see Lamax Spooky Town, you should check it out. But check condition, especially if it's houses. I pretty much stray away from any sort of houses anymore unless I check them or I can see that they're in good condition, because I've been burned a few times on those. This is a 1998 Capcom Toy Biz X-Men Street Fighter Wolverine. I believe it sold on sale for $18.65 roughly. I believe it was I can't remember exactly what my sale price was, but it was 10 to 15% off. And this sold because of the movie, of course. I have more Wolverines I really should get listed immediately. This sold very quickly. I took a lower offer of $40 for it. It's an O'Neill Assault Life Jacket, and I just decided to take the $40. We paid $7.50 at a yard sale because summer's coming to an end. I didn't want to have this for the rest of the year, so I just decided to take the $40 and take the quick money because it was still a good profit. This is a 5 International GG dinner forks, and they sold for, this one was on the sale for $26.95, I believe, as well, but sold for that full sale price, and they're off to their new home. Probably have less than $1 into these. Pretty much all of my silverware lots, I usually have $1 or less, depending on the size of the lot. This is a Christopher Radko Don't Open Until Christmas ornament with tag. This sold for $30 on a best offer, and I picked this up at an estate sale a few months ago for, I think, $1 or $2 at the most. And it was funny because this estate sale was packed. It was so crazy busy, and I still found this in the bedroom that nobody was in. So you can still find stuff. It's just hard. It is harder. This is 1973 Dodge Body Service Shop Repair Manual, and this sold for $26.95 as well on my sale, and I paid $1 for this at a estate sale, and it's taken a couple months to sell. This I just picked up, and it's also in my recent haul video. It's an Edward Gorey Enterprises Gunned Plush Cat Red-Green Striped Sweater 2003. It sold for $60. If I waited even longer, I probably could have got more, but I'm really happy with this price. It's pretty fair for the size and condition that he was in. And if he'd had his hang tag, of course, he would have sold for more, but I picked him up for $1 at a Salvation Army. So, I mean, I had no idea this little cat would be worth that. I just happened to look it up because it was gunned. This is a Blight crystal, 24 lead crystal, trinket dish, brass tone, metal flower, floral accent, and it sold for a best offer of $19. I think this has been listed for a very long time, but I have the tiny recollection that I paid $1 for it, because I wouldn't have paid any more, because I just would not pay up for anything crystal or glass. So probably $1, but it took a long time to sell. This has been listed probably about a year. I can't quite remember what it took on an offer. It was maybe $42-ish. It was more than $40. And it's The Art of Chabana Flowers for Tea Ceremony by Henry Mitwer, first printing from 1974. I paid about $1 for this at a yard sale last year around this time, and I'm fine with it taking that long to sell. I sold quite a few items that had been listed for a while this week. And that's why I just kind of let my items stay, because, I mean, if it takes a year to make $40 profit on an item, I don't care. That's fine. I'll wait the year. This is a Rory Milk. I think it's McElroy, or I think I put that wrong. I think it's supposed to be McElroy. I don't know. St. Bernard Dog Golf Club head cover. I just recognized it was a St. Bernard and it was a head cover, so I picked it up. And it sold for a best offer of $36, I believe, and I think I had to pay up. I think it was $3.99 at the Goodwill, but definitely worth paying that. This I picked up at a thrift store for $2.50, and it was Toes on the Nose, Hawaiian Shirt, men's medium, mermaid sea beach hula. Actually, it was $2 at the thrift store. It's half price day. And I read, because it did have a stain on it that I pointed out, but it sold for a best offer of $17, and it took probably 5-6 months to sell. Picture sucks, guys. It's just how I am with closing. Pictures suck. I think I found a way to make them better, but I have to actually list closing to make them better. This is Lamac's Signature Collection Porcelain Lighted Village Christmas Residence, and I picked this up at an estate sale for $2. They were just trying to move this stuff, and I took a best offer of $42 on it. This we actually picked up on our camping trip a couple weeks ago. It was just sitting in the campsite that we went to. We'd left it there in case someone just happened to lay it down. We didn't want to just take it, but at the end of the camping trip we said, fine, we're gonna take it. No one's come to pick this up in multiple days. We're gonna take it. And it sold for full asking of $32.95, and it's a Milwaukee USB LED pivoting rechargeable flashlight magnetic base. And it actually sold, I couldn't believe it sold for this much. And luckily my partner said I could sell it, because he thought it was really cool, but he has other things, he said. So as soon as he said I could sell it, I grabbed it and listed it immediately. So as soon as I get the go ahead, it's going up. So I sold this lot and the next lot to the same buyer, and it's Oneida Lincoln stainless glossy set of 7 teaspoons flatware. And then I also sold this one, that's the salad forks of the Lincoln pattern in Oneida, and it sold for this one and the other one for $40 together. This is an Acura Genuine Accessories wheel locks, and this sold for full asking price. This is why I like going sourcing with other people, because my partner looked at this and I never would have looked at this. So I really didn't know what I was looking at, and I just kind of popped it into eBay, and it was definitely worth picking up. We paid $1 for it. So yeah, you don't have to know what you're selling to sell it. This came out of my action figure tote, and it's a USS Flag 1985 G.I. Joe a raw aircraft carrier playset part, and it sold for best offer of $12. It fit into a 464 box. Totally fine with that. Probably 50 cents to $1 into it from my action figure tote I bought. This is a Jellycat Corduroy Blue Dog Corduroy Ribbed Plush. I was surprised that this took so long to sell and didn't sell for more, because it's very cute. It sold for the full asking $15.95. I think I paid $3 for this at a thrift store, so a little bit too much, especially because it took a year to sell, but it sold and I made a profit. This I picked up at a thrift store for a couple of dollars. It's a Wybur Burp Plush Sheriff Dog from Fievel Goes West Universal 1989. Read as is, because I believe it had a little bit of a hole and I think the nose might have had some scratching. Not in perfect condition, but still sold for full asking of $50. This is a pair of Ugg Australia Reed women's slate gray ankle boots. And these sold for a best offer of $25, and I paid $3 for these at a yard sale. I picked up I think I picked up 4 pairs of shoes this weekend, which was quite a few for me. I'm trying, because these shoes are selling. They really are. So it's definitely worth the time and effort to look at shoes. It's my hard and fast rule. If they are not, for the most part, clean, I'm not touching them. I don't want them. Here's some of my Poshmark sales, and this is a lot of 3 ceramic baby bird in Nesco, Japan. These sold for $28. They've been listed for probably 2 years, and this is why I do also like Poshmark, because I have put these through multiple markdowns on eBay. I think they were at $20 when I ended the listing, and these sold for $28 on Poshmark, because I don't go through it. I don't go and change prices on Poshmark or Mercari. Once they're set, they're set. If they sell, fantastic. If not, they'll sell on eBay for a cheaper price. But yeah, this sold for $28, so I made a lot more than I would have selling them on eBay. But they did take quite a long time to sell, but I'm very excited for my Poshmark sales. And I got a couple Mercari, but I mean, I had multiple good Poshmark sales. Come on, computer, we're almost there. You can do this. Here we go. And this is a Jim Shore Heartwood Creek Bounty of Blessings Autumn Cornucopia basket. Sold for $38, and I paid $2 for this. I have to give you a quick anecdote on this one because it made me smile because my pettiness paid off. So I was going back and forth with a potential buyer on the comments of this item, and they offered 30. I said no, and then I'd offer 35. And we went back and forth a few times, and they finally said, you know, send $35 offer and I will accept it. And so I sent the offer, and then they countered back at 30. And I was just like, nope, not today. That's annoying. Because we'd agreed on 35, I was very annoyed. It was originally listed for 45, I believe, just to put that into context. And so I was really annoyed, and I just declined the offer. I said, nope, I don't need to deal with you. And then like an hour later, they sent me a $35 offer. And I was just like, I am not having this right now. I don't want to deal with this. I was going to accept the offer later, but I was going to let it sit there and be petty. And then I got an offer for 38 from another buyer. So I accepted that instead. So it was just the fact that they were still trying to get the lower deal after I'd already made them a deal and we'd agreed on it. That's what I got annoyed with. So I get that they're just trying to save money, but I'm excited because I made a couple more dollars being petty. I don't try to let my emotions get into my business too much, but it happens. It just happens. This is Brass Vases Mother of Pearl Accent Lot of 3, made in India. They sold for a best offer of $18. I paid $3 for it at a thrift store, so not a super great profit, but I was able to use free packing, I was able to use a free box on Poshmark, and they sold quickly. And this is also why I like cross-listing, because this style was saturated on eBay and the sell-through was terrible. But these sold really quickly on Poshmark, so I'm happy with that. Oh, these are just all going to be little turkeys here, even though I went and set this up beforehand. And this is The Great Hunt, The Wheel of Time, Book 2, hardcover by Robert Jordan. This sold for $27 on Poshmark, and I think I've had this listed for a month or two. I paid $2.99 at the Goodwill. This I've had listed for quite a long time, and I would say, well, I'd probably say 8 to 10 months, roughly. And it's an Ed Hardy duffel bag, purple, True Love, Indian Princess, lime green, purple. I picked this up in an estate sale for like $1, and it sold for $70 on Poshmark. I was very excited by that. It's been listed for a fair amount of time, and I just finally, this was the first really fair offer I got, so I just jumped on it, because I think I had it listed for $90 or so. This is a pair of Reebok Classic walking shoes, men, size 10.5 wide, white green with the box. Sold for $30 on a best offer on Poshmark. And I paid $3 at an estate sale for these. and they sold, I think, within a week or two, so very quickly. Just a couple last sales here on Mercari. Okay, this is a brass deer doe buck statues figurine sitting laying down vintage pair. It sold for $15 on a best offer on Mercari. I paid $1 a piece at an estate sale, and they took a couple months to sell, but totally fine with that profit because I make $15 on Mercari. And then here's one last one for Mercari. It's a brass buffalo bison belt buckle, vintage animal. And I actually bought a belt that this was attached to. And so and the belt wasn't that good. So I just got rid of the belt and bought it for this belt buckle. It was $3 and it turned into 30 bucks. So I am happy with that profit. So that is all I have to share with you this week, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see about another video this week. I just have a lot to catch up on from camping, but I really try to keep up to 2 videos a week. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope your sales are picking up if you're a reseller, or if you're sourcing, I hope you're finding really great items out there, guys. It is still tough, but hopefully we can help support each other. So I will see you guys on the next video.